What is up, everyone? It's Blake of the Black Faker bringing you another VOD review here. If you guys would like your free VOD review, please join my Discord. Go to the free VOD review tab. We have them every single Sunday. And if we get to 200 subs on this YouTube channel, we'll be having free coachings every single... I haven't picked the day, but it's going to be every single week. All right? Maybe it'll be Sunday too. Fuck it. Maybe we'll just have both of them on Sunday. But okay, so we're going to be looking at a Yasuo ADC game. So... couple things here. I looked on your history and I noticed you have a lot of Yasuo ADC games, and it definitely is not optimal. I definitely think you should be playing Yasuo mid or top. Let me know in the comments why you choose to play Yasuo ADC over mid lane Yasuo, and if anybody else agrees to do that as well, or I'm just an old guy that doesn't fucking know about fucking playing Yasuo ADC. I myself have a ton of Yasuo games on almost every account that I have. I would say I have about over... this is going to be a minimum number because I don't really have a fond, like, real big number. But I have over 1,000 Yasuo games. I have more than that, but I'm just saying that's a minimum. That's probably the lowest that I got that I can say for sure that I have without actually going into detail. So I play a lot of Yasuo. Yasuo was one of my boys, especially when he first came out. So I've been playing him for a long time. He's always been my pocket pick. Nothing's wrong with Yasuo, but I definitely do not think you should be playing Yasuo ADC. Yasuo ADC will be teaching bad habits, and that habit is that I'm either gonna feed my lane because the laners know what to do, or I'm gonna take over this lane because those laners. I'm going to get fed in my lane because the laners don't know what to do. Or I'm going to feed in my lane because they do know what to do. There we go. That's what I meant to say. I'm trolling. None of this is scripted, by the way. None of it. So, yeah, I definitely don't agree with the Yasuo ADC thing. Maybe you can rethink that because you're not going to go that far with it. Sorry to say. But I don't like to sugarcoat. I don't like to lie. I don't like to be like, well, because you're in this elo, it's okay. My philosophy is I coach to where you're going to be going, not to where you're at. I'm not going to be like, oh, because you're gold, you could do X, Y, Z. That doesn't matter. This is not something that I would definitely condone. But do you? Do you? If you're going to do Yasuo ADC, at least have it be like a backup, not a mandatory thing. Because that's what I thought it was. I was like, oh, it's a backup. Okay. I mean, this is one of the few games. And I checked all your Yasuo games, and I was like, bro, wait a second. This is not a backup. So I'm not really going to talk about much in laning phase. I chose this game though because I seen you had a fairly long game, and I also seen that your deaths were a little high, so it was a pretty good even balanced match of a game. Okay, if I see anything in laning phase, I'll say something about it. I'm not gonna just neglect the laning phase, but I'm not gonna go into detail because, like I said, I don't really condone it, and it's not really gonna be something you can just pull off every single time you pick Yasuo. It's gonna have to be like, oh, I'm ADC, I guess I'll play it here. Okay. That's a nice skin though. As soon as it came out, I bought that. Skin's fucking fire. I don't really like the I mean, I do like the chromas, but I don't think I want to buy any of the chromas, you know? I don't know. They're not bad, but the classic is just good. Like, you don't need a chroma, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm the only one that feels like that. That was really ambitious. This is a long laning phase, bro. When's the first tower gonna go down? Okay, it's going down right now. There we go. Top goes down. Look in the back here, it's fine. Okay, so one thing I will say though, whenever you're, let me get my notepad out here. Where is it? Okay, so what I'm gonna say that is gonna be beneficial to mid lane, or top lane, or whatever, wherever you play. When you notice laners are playing really safe, and you want to fight, pull them out by trying to force an objective. So a lot of times you do want to get killed, especially as Yasuo. You want to start scrapping as early as possible if you can, because you're pretty strong. A good way to do that when you know players are going to be back under tower is to look to force an objective. That way you're not fighting randomly, and when they do show up, you kill them, or if they don't show up because they know you're stronger than they are as a whole, then you get the dragon for free anyway. That way it's not really having you permafarm, and you can still gain stuff. Like I said, you know, for the objective. Always fighting for the objectives is what you want to do. You never just want to randomly fight. Is he mid-ult? It's kind of fire. I didn't know like it moved based off of how you move. That's pretty clean. All right, right? I fucking see you. Do your thing, chicken wang. All right. So we look to rotate. Okay. So one thing you want to notice right here is that your teammates want to back. They haven't backed yet. This means if a fight breaks out, you're more than likely going to lose it because your team hasn't backed yet. Now, there are times where your team doesn't back for a while and you still win fights. But as I said before, I'm coaching you to where you're going, not where you are. And higher elos, just that little piece of longsword is going to be enough to win a team fight if your team has 1,000 gold and they didn't spend it yet. Let's just see who has how much gold. 1,200, 2,500, 1,400. And that's exactly what I mean. And he's almost at 1,000. So they have to back. And because they didn't, but you did, you're forcing them to kind of stay on the map. So what you want to do is pay more attention to when your team needs to back. That way you're not forcing plays they don't want to be a part of. So two things can happen here when you do that. They'll be with you, you're like, all right, dude, let's do it. And they overstay, and then you guys all die because you guys didn't spin. Or the other thing that's going to happen is you're going to call for a play, and they're going to start backing. And you're like, oh, but this play is so good. And then you guys go for the play, but two people are backing, and then you three die. And then, you know, that's that because they're backing. So you kind of got to play with the team in that aspect. As you see, now they want it back. Ziggs is forced to stay. You guys are looking to fight. Ziggs die. That's exactly what I said would happen. That's exactly what I said would happen. And I have not watched this yet, but I just know. Luckily, Aurelia then shows up, and of course they overstay because, you know, this is gold for you. But that double kill shouldn't have happened to Aurelia. You guys should have lost out on those 2 kills, and that was that. So be very, very cautious. Be very cautious when staying, and you know that your team needs it back. They were off the map for a really long time. All right, we're going back to push the side lane here. You really want to try to maybe look for this Rift Herald, not necessarily come down here to push side lane. Play for the objectives. You guys are still stronger than them, way stronger than them, so we can start taking over the map than having to do stuff like this, especially because it's so risky. You might end up dying. Almost got a double kill, but let's see if we almost got the double kill because we played that well, or we almost got a double kill because they just flopped. Okay, so he misses his W on you. So instead of like using his E and then queuing you, he decides to use a skill shot instead of just like using his E. That way he doesn't have to use a skill shot. Or maybe he did and I missed it. Let me see. So he did use his E. He queues, knowing you're going to win wall. It doesn't show up because of the effects is stupid and fucking replay. But knowing you're going to win wall. This guy should know you're going to win wall. You're Yasuo. Why would he launch his stuff when he knows you're going to win wall? Right? This guy's super close to the minion wave when he knows you're going to dash on the minion wave. Then he misses instead of using his W there. Then he's exhaust. Very good time to exhaust. And you exhaust for the slow, not really for the damage reduction. You get the knock up there. You dash in. He ults. Like, he should have been spaced further away. That shouldn't have happened, right? Looking at that now, you know that you got away with that because they just don't know how to deal with you. And that's how Yasuo works, unfortunately. There's a lot of stuff you're going to be doing that will work because they don't know how to deal with them. But when you get to a higher elo, even when you're like in Platinum, man, players eventually start knowing how to deal with Yasuo. Platinum, give or take, but once you reach Diamond, yeah, you're not getting away with a lot of the stuff that you get away with like this. Holy shit. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. All I'm going to say, fight for objectives, you know. Remember, your teammates need to back. Always remember that. And one of your breadwinners are up top, right? No teleport, which means if you go for this fight and we know that orange down there, we can't go for this fight. So that means we should just go for Rift Herald because they're already down here, right? I know I said that really, really fast. Let me slow down. We know that all five are here. I mean, we know all five are here, which basically means that we can't get this because Irelia has no teleport and our teammates didn't even back to spin their goals. That goes to show that we might as well just go to Rift Herald because we don't really have any way to get the dragon. Right now, shoot to Rift Herald. We go to dragon. Or we go down here. You see that we don't even get anything, right? You could be doing Rift. You could be doing Rift right now. Instead, we go down here. And you are definitely not needed for those kills. You didn't do anything really. So you could have gotten a free Rift Herald instead of doing that. Now, it was a little bit close to the timer, but this is just an example of like what you could have been doing when you see a play like this. Not the exact timing, as I said, because the Rift Herald was about to die anyway. Okay, once again, same concept, overstaying. We need to make sure that we're buying. We just got kills. How much gold we at? 1,400, 1,200, 1,100. We should be backing. What's gonna happen? We're gonna overstay, we're all gonna die. Okay, good. Nobody called the fight. Nope, we're still staying. There you go. Now you want it back. Okay, you're waiting for an item. Now you're back. But now your team's fighting without you. So because you basically made them stay, now they're forced to fight this fight. No mana, no mana. And then, of course, you're backing on your own time. Like, I don't really care about you for whatever. I back when I want it back. We have to make sure when we back at good times. The best time to back is on downtime. So what is downtime? Downtime is pretty much when nobody's really doing anything. There's nothing really up to get done. If we go back, was there a downtime? Yes, even after you took this tower, this is a downtime right here. There's realistically nothing that these guys can go for that your team will need to react upon, which means you can back. And as I said, you have to basically be the brain of the team. You have to be the one micromanaging everybody. Making sure like, okay, guys, we got it back here. Let's back. We overstayed. Now we're forced to stay. Your team doesn't know what you're doing. And then they end up just kind of dying. You have to go try to defend the tower. Luckily, we still can get it done. Okay. That was just... that shouldn't have happened. But we got kills for it. Cool. I also recommend that you don't go Static Shiv, you go Phantom Dancer. There's way too many things in this game that can kill you. I see that you build Static Gauge a lot, but it's not as good as Phantom Dancer. And why do I say that? Because Phantom Dancer gives Yasuo way more than Static Gauge does. And by that I mean he gets the attack speed, he gets the crit, he gets the movement speed, he gets the shield. When you buy Static Gauge, really what you get is the shields, the damage, and the HP, right? Now, it wouldn't be bad if you got that earlier, but Static Gauge is an item that you get later. So it's less beneficial to you, especially if the game doesn't even go that long. Whereas Phantom Dancer is beneficial, and it's pretty cheap because you're already going to be building that anyway. And yeah, so that's what I think. If you're not gonna go Phantom Dancer, you can go Static Shiv into Hex Shrinker, or maybe build Hex Shrinker first and then go Static Shiv into IE and then finish your Malma Mortius. But I don't think Static Gauge is a good buy on Yasuo anymore, unless you know the game's gonna go extremely long to where you can even buy it. And even then, as I said, definitely want to make sure that it's beneficial. Okay, wasn't really necessary, but your team gets Baron for it. Okay. We're just kind of doing the Yasuo thing here, where I used to be here. That's why I'm laughing, because I see myself in you. We're getting to that Yasuo point where we're pretty much just kind of doing bullshit and hoping our team does something with the bullshit that we do. We think we can kill everybody. We think we can fucking outplay, and no, you can't. You have to play with your brain. You can't play with your buttons. So you got to make sure that what I'm doing is for a specific reason. You pushing bot for the Baron play, you didn't set that up. There's no way in hell you set that up. Why? I know you didn't set that up, right? If you lie to me and say you set it up, you're lying, okay? Don't lie to me. You push bot because you wanted to go push bot, and your team decided, oh, let's do Baron with it. Okay. And then you died, which you didn't have to. You could have shoved up and just back up a little bit and let your team do their thing. When you're split pushing for pressure or to stall the game. That's all. You're not split pushing for towers, for kills, for 1v1s, nothing. So when you're pushing, is it for pressure? Well, you just put pushing here, but there's nothing for your team to get right now. So what was the point? And then we started fighting, and even if we killed the guy, we're not going to do anything with it. So what was the point? See what I mean? So you got to make sure that when you're going for plays like this, you actually understand why you're going for plays. You can't just go for plays willy-nilly because it's like, oh, I want to fight you guys. Now that you're dead, you show up to this team fight late. Now you're trying to make something happen, and Aurelia fucking just killed everybody anyway. So yeah, this game was definitely won because your team did all the work and you kind of just flopped around. And that's why your games may seem pretty half and half, because you're not really doing anything to win the game unless you're extremely fed. Then you just do whatever, and Yasuo kills everybody because that's just how he works. If he's fed, he's fucking broken. So pretty much what we need to make sure that we're doing is when going for plays, really have a reason why you are going for them. Don't just go for plays because you want kills. As I said, I think we need to make sure that we are buying Thunder Dancer, not Seraph Gauge. It's only like a specific reasons to buy Seraph Gauge, and for someone that, like I said, that plays a ton of Yasuo, I definitely just find that Phantom Dancer is better. I used to go Static Shiv and a Seraph Gauge. You might be thinking, well, ADC Yasuo goes Static Shiv. Well, no. You have to be a really, really conservative player to make Static Shiv work. And by that, I mean you have to not die a lot. And it is hard to not die with the Yasuo because that his kit is just it's just hard. Unless you're fed, you're probably gonna die a lot with Yasuo. So that's just how it goes. I'm not saying inting's okay, but you're gonna leave games with like 4 or 5 deaths average sometimes. So that's fine. One thing I will say that we do need to do, like I said, is play around objectives some more. We need to pay more attention to the back timings. We're overstaying a lot, and we don't really care. And of course, number 3, as I said before, we pay attention to back timings. And then when going for plays, of course, you got to make sure that we are going for a smart play, not just because it kills, and play around objectives more. If we look to fight, let's try to make it for Dragon Baron. Blue, red, Scuttle. Just to name some. That way you're just not fighting willy-nilly. I think if you learn to do that, you learn to pace yourself with fighting, and you learn not to take all these crazy ass engages because you think you can outplay the whole world, you definitely will have an easier time winning your games. Okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. As I said, I don't recommend Yasuo ADC. I don't recommend the Static Shiv and the Seraph Gauge, but I can't tell you what to do. I can just only help you what you want to do. So yeah, thank you for signing up for the free VOD review. I appreciate that. If you guys want free coaching, as I said, make sure we hit 200 subscribers on the YouTube channel, and we will do that. Without further ado, though, thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for approaching this like a coach.